The poor guy. Because when Sabina run business, she run business, you know. Well, my doctors told me I am not supposed to drink a drop of alcohol anymore because it will kill me. Nobody could understand how the ex-wife of Drew and his current relationship could get along so fine. But on the other side, we were like sometimes plotting together how we could revenge ourselves with Drew. You know, we are written about, you know.
Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mel and we are here with mommy. So no say it's another story time with mommy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. So yeah, as usual, mommy will just take over from here.
All right. Disclaimer: the stories that I'm going to tell in this series are my experience, my truth, and my point of view over the past 38 years that I have been in Jamaica. And it's in no way intended to slander any person, the culture of Jamaica, or the island as a whole. Hi Mel's lovelies. Yeah, back again with another story. I figured we have to get off the marina for a bit. And actually, as I have mentioned before, there were some other people in our lives that played a role, which were Drew's ex-wife Rita and her 2 children with him, and basically Melody's stepbrother and sister. And I want to get them...
Half brother.
Oh, half brother and half brother and sister, of course. And yeah, I wanted to get them in the story now because they were with us, around us very, very often. So I don't know if you guys remember how Rita and me met. It was at the Reef Beach in Port Antonio, and she was there with her 2 children. I went there, I think, just with Mayumi alone. That was before Melody was born, of course. And the 3 children started to play with each other, and Rita and me got into a conversation, and both of us turned out to be avid readers. And at that time, of course, no Kindle or nothing, it was just books. So she said, "Oh, do you have something to read for me? That would be wonderful. I'm so bored and I can't carry so many books on my journey." So I said, "Yeah, I have shelves full in the house." So we made an arrangement that she came visit, and she could borrow some books, and from then on basically we started to be friends. At that point in time I did not know Drew at all, so I met actually his ex-wife and his children before I ever met him. And then as the story unfolded and I got together with Drew, actually Rita was always okay with it. You know, whenever she came back to Jamaica, and she came frequently, because what did happen to her before, she had inherited some money, so she was pretty well off and was able to travel whenever she wished. She didn't have to work anymore. She used to edit TV shows before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But after she inherited that money, she kind of decided, well, I'm going to stay home and travel and do whatever I want. And that's what she did. So they were at least 2 to 3 times a year they came to Jamaica. Because, of course, the father of the children was there. And, well, they just loved Jamaica, basically. So all those times now, after we became friends, when she reached with the children, basically the children wanted to be around mine. Because it was like, of course for them it was nicer to be with more children, you know. Although, I mean, my sons did not give them an easy time, you know, because basically they treated them like they treated their little sister, Mayumi. And Mayumi had a hard time with her two big brothers. And that's why she became a tomboy.
Them are some big bully.
My God, I mean, sometimes I was sorry for her, but then again, I kind of figured, well, what doesn't kill her make her stronger? Which did. It happened for true. And it's like when those two came into our lives now and wanted to spend more time, they were on the hunches already. They were in Bliss, they were in Norwich, they were everywhere already where we were. And whenever they came, they were practically like my own too. And only Drew, for some reason, couldn't really, I mean, it come like they were my own, not for him own, you know, my own. So I had, instead of 3 children at first, I had 5. And then eventually 6. But it was nice. You know, I cannot say different, although my style of raising children is or was completely different from Rita's. You know, Rita was like more of a very independent person, and her children were spoiled because, of course, there was money, and whatever they wanted, they got. Now, in my family, we didn't have money, so I could not afford that. I couldn't do that. And therefore, for Sandy and Don, it was a complete new experience to come in a household where you would not get everything. And like, can I get that? And in my house, it would be, no. No. And I vividly remember one situation when we were going to the beach, to Frenchman's Cove, the pretty beach that you saw in the other videos. And on the way going, and we were in a taxi. At that time we didn't have a car, so we were in a taxi or even a minibus or something. And going down now, Don realized he forgot his swim trunks and started to wail, I want to go back, I want my swim trunks. And tell you the truth, both those children could really go on, you know. They could get fits and get, especially tantrums. Sandy could get hysterical and Don get tantrums. So right in that vehicle now, he got this huge tantrum, although I think Nikki told him, I have another bath trunk with me, you can get, I don't want your bath trunk, I want my own. And he was going on, I mean, we just left out from Port Antonio to Frenchman's Cove, wailing and shouting and bawling. And when we reached Frenchman's Cove and went out of the car, in Frenchman's Cove there's a big parking lot, and then you have to walk away to reach to the beach. And I told him, look here, you stay here on the parking lot until you cool down. I'm not going to deal with it any longer. If you cool down, you can come down here. There is another bath trunk for you. You can get it, and then you can go swim like everybody else. But until you cool down, you stay here. And of course, he was still going on. You know your children stay. You know, they sometimes can go on for an hour or so. So I asked her. There was a person always standing there watching the cars and selling jewelry, and I said, keep an eye on him for me, please. Don't make him run away or something, or make me know when him try to run away. And I went to the beach. The other children were there already. They had changed already. They were in the water already having fun. You know. So I waited for like about 20 minutes or so, and I went back to the parking lot. And there was this little Don. At the time, you know, he was, how old was he? About 8 years old? No, younger than that. 6, 7 years old. One cute little boy, you know, with dreadlocks. I mean, everybody who saw him loved him. And oh my God, he is so beautiful. So this cute, beautiful little monster was in the parking lot, finally cooled down. So I said, all right, you're ready now to come swim? So I brought him over. He got the swim trunk for my son, put them on, and after that had the time of his life with the other children. But boy, to get through this tantrum, and I tell you, not only one time him do that, you know, every minute. Now him sister 1 year older than him, worse. She could be so hysterical over, I don't even know, oh, there's a spider in my room! You know, and I'd go on for, I need to come out! Whatever. I mean, I don't even know, over nothing. On the other side, like I said, both of them were very, very cute. Like Sunday did have this period where when we were on the houseboat already, when she discovered she wanted to become a cleaning lady. So the whole day she was running around with a broom and a shovel and a rag and wipe here and sweep there. And I said, oh, wonderful, somebody cleaning my houseboat, yes. You know, I loved it. I wish it would have kept a bit longer than it actually did. And then, as I was saying, they were sleeping in one room. We had 2 cabins on the houseboat when we were there, so they were sleeping, the girls in one, the boys in the other room, and they were practically like siblings.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at one point in time, Rita decided she wanted to come to Jamaica for good.
Mm-hmm.
So she gave up everything in Germany, her apartment, and shipped her furnitures and belongings. I mean, it was a huge load, which I profited of because she brought me a washing machine and a dryer. I was happy. So, because at that time, although I had a helper for the house, I have to say, I mean, I had a helper. You know, I mean, I felt like a rich lady. But between the marina and the houseboat and the children and everything, I could not manage to clean the houseboat every day and every time. So I finally decided to find somebody to help me. And that was a very good decision. But she had to wash laundry galore. Mm-hmm. I mean, can you imagine 3 and then 4 children and 2 adults? So I was sorry children. When the children were there then, exactly, they would work. So I was so happy that I could first of all take workload off her, and plus it made our life so much easier. And that was Rita for you. You know, on one side, a very, very stubborn, difficult to deal with person. On the other side, a wonderful, warm-hearted, very good friend. Mm-hmm. So she had these 2 sides, you know, and sorry to say, but she had an alcohol problem, which kind of affected all of us. Because when she started to drink, I mean, it had a lot of consequences over the years for everybody involved with her. Because it influenced her health, of course, because if you start to drink every morning, already you get up and start to drink. Mm-hmm. She had to drink after a while because her hands were shaking when she woke up, and after her first 2 Campari, the hands would cool down. Mm-hmm. Actually, she could not go to the bank unless she drank to sign checks or papers. So she would come early in the morning in the marina, because remember we were open from 7 o'clock. Have her first 2 Campari, said, okay, now I can go to the bank. You know, and that was the sad side of the story. The amount of time I took away car key, bike key from her, because she tried to drive. Mm-hmm. She came in and said, oh, I'm going home now. And I said, you can go home, but you are not driving yourself. Sorry, give me the keys. Bye-bye. Take a taxi. You know? Because, I mean, she, of course, herself never thought she was under the influence.
Yeah, most people don't.
Exactly. Because, that started to be quite a problem. And the children, although they met a complete different education style in my family than with her, I think at some point in time they felt safer with us, because they knew there's somebody around that is taking care of them.
Education style? Or
not a raising style.
Oh, raising.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, raising style, not education. Okay. So those were the 2 sides of Rita, which then, when she decided to move to Jamaica, she rented 2 houses, not big houses, small houses that were one behind the other. One entry was here, one entry was there for each house. She took one house, the children got the other house. Now, the children at that time, they were not that big, you know. I mean, they were like maybe 10 and 9 years old.
And they got a house for
And
themselves.
they got a house for themselves. They had their own kitchen, their own bathroom, their own bedroom, their own living room, furnished, everything. Of course, Rita had somebody to clean and so. But basically, when they were in that house, they were unsupervised. Because Rita was in her place and they were there. And of course, they could go back and forth, really. But for me, it was like, yeah, you know. So, seeing Rita was not at home that often either, because she liked to go around and drive here and drive there and visit here and visit there. And then the children went to school, came back from school, went in the house. I took it up basically to check on them. I went in the afternoons, drove there and check on them. If they were alright. And trust me, sometimes that house looked like a bomb exploding there, because of course children, come on, I mean, they throw everything everywhere and they don't want to clean up. And I think the cleaning lady for them, she came like 3 times a week or something, you know. So in the meantime, between she came, that house was looking like, well, anyhow, it was none of my business. I didn't do anything there. So all I let them know is, whenever you feel like it, whenever you're ready, you're welcome to come to us in the marina and stay. And I said the same to Rita too. I said, you know that your children can come anytime, right, if need be. So what Rita decided then is to start a rent-a-car and bike business. So she bought 2 Suzuki Jeeps and these little white, I don't know if you know them, these little white Jeeps, and it's I think 3 or 4 bikes. I mean, bigger bikes, not anything small, like about 500s or so. Not small, big neither, but. And she herself could ride bike as well, because she when she was younger, before she had the children, she actually made a trip to Africa on a bike. I mean, she traveled, I don't know to how many countries in Africa on the bike. So she was very firm on her bike. And then she bought a bus as well, a wine red bus. Nice bus, you know. I got jealous. I looked for it, I want one like that, you know. And then she had this guy running the business for her, basically running me, I mean renting out the vehicles and taking care of them. Like when they came back, wash them, maintain them, like whatever they needed, oil, gas, you name it. And he would drive some of them himself, because she had that business but did not really get involved with it, you know, because for it was, no, make it work, you know, it's my business, yes. And that is a fatal mistake in Jamaica. You cannot have other people run your business. Impossible. I mean, if you want to, sorry to say, I mean, and I'm sure there are exceptions, but if you don't have a keen eye on whatever business you have, it will not prosper, or it might even deteriorate. So basically, after a while, that is exactly what happened with her business. And on top of it, she got sick, because what happened to her, her belly got bigger like this. And we all looked and said, wait, are you pregnant or something? Because at the same time, she did meet another man and fell in love with him and got married to him. And at first, happily ever after. And then she decided she wanted another child. And so we kind of wondered, is she pregnant now, or didn't she tell us? But no. what really happened to her is her liver started to get enlarged. I mean, big time. So I finally talked her into going to Germany. I said, Rita, you cannot get treated here. You need to go back to Germany and make sure that doctor looked on that. So she decided to go. It was like even holiday time for school too. So she took the children, went to Germany. And in the meantime, I was running, she made me run her business. Oh, the poor guy. Because when Sabina run business, she run business, you know. You cannot take a cent for yourself. And you cannot do what you did before. You have to account for every vehicle, every day, what you do, how much gas you put in, how much you spend for this, how much you spend for that, how much you earn. You had to bring me the money, me fill out the contract, me give the people them the contract, right? And believe you me, that was the very first time that business made money. It made money, you know. When Rita came back, I handed her a pile of money and said, here you go. And she looked at me and said, what? I have never seen anything like that in the whole time I've made that business. I've had that business. And I said, well, see, I hope you continue what I'm doing. Or even if you want, I continue it for you. Because I didn't take a cent from her because she did so many things for me. You know?
And to know that the car rental was on the same property.
It was on the property of the marina. Exactly. Well, when she came and I decided we had the front part there that was practically unutilized. So I decided, well, like I said, she has done so many things for us. We were good friends. And I said, well, why don't you use it?
Yeah.
And she would pay me a small rent, not much. Just like, basically it was like more of a formality, you know, like, I don't want it for free, here you go.
So that's why it was so easy for me.
Yeah, that's why I could have an eye on it and supervise it. Yeah, I forgot to mention that, thank you. So, in her time in Germany, she called me after a while and said, oh ma, you know what? The doctors here told me if I had come 1 week later, I would be dead. Because she had a severe liver problem and she got treated right away and they saved her. And she became back to normal. Even though the belly shrank down again, it came down, the liver shrank down. And because liver is good, it can heal. And she was like, oh my God, 1 week later and I would have been dead. And it did frighten her a bit. For the first time, because that lady couldn't be frightened for nothing. No. So she finally came back, and then the first thing she told me, well, my doctors told me I am not supposed to drink a drop of alcohol anymore because it will kill me. And I said, well, I hope you can keep that. Said so much, the woman go to the bar and order a drink.
The same.
With alcohol.
The
same time, she tell me. The exact same time. She never stopped drinking. Until the day she's dead now. Till the day she died, she never stopped drinking. Ever. So, and she lived another 20 years.
Yeah, she survived.
She lived another 20 years.
If that was the message from the doctor, then she survived.
She lived another 20 years. Exactly. I was joking in the end. I looked on her and said, Rita, you know what? You can't even dead because your body is conserved so well in alcohol. And it can't die. It can't die. When we laugh, you know, both of we laugh. But the other part of the story was too that in Port Antonio, of course, nobody could understand how the ex-wife of Drew and his current relationship could get along so fine. I mean, they had the wildest theories, like he would have sex with the both of us, or whenever they saw us, and we used to go a lot of places together. We used to go even out in the town. I would go with her and hang out in a bar, and we both would drink, you know. Me, not as much as she, but still did my fair share. And we would go together to Negril with all the children. where they did some, how you call it, when they flew, kite sailing, and Mayumi was up there with somebody I think Yasha had her on the kite, and Mayumi was in the air and screaming.
When they are actually in the air, like parasailing,
parasailing or paraglide, how you call it, when the boat tow you and the kite goes up with you on it. And Mayumi was screaming. I mean, I think all Negril would hear her scream, you know. We would go all over the island together with all the children there, you know, and have a good time. And everybody in Port Antonio, because it's like, in Jamaica it's pretty common that the 2 or 3 or however many women the man had in his life would fight each other. And now the 2 of we now were getting so well along. Everybody was like, how they do that? How come? We don't understand. And the funny part was, because I mean, she did warn me of him, right? And I lived through exactly the thing she warned me of, basically. But she never said, well, I told you so. But on the other side, we were like sometimes plotting together how we could revenge ourselves with Drew. You know, it never really worked that way. But I mean, it's like, at least I had a partner in crime, you know, like when I got really upset and she would just say, yes, let's do this and let's do that to him, you know, and I was, yes, we should. So it was really, I mean, we had a real good relationship that way. The end of the story I will not be telling in this video here, because that is later on in time. But all I can say, when Melody arrived, of course, her other siblings were very pleased too. They loved her to death from the very beginning, you know, and it was like, even Rita was like, well, yeah, nice addition to the family, you know, she had no jealousy, no nothing. And as I was saying, by that time she had met somebody anyhow. And got married to him, and even took him to Germany before she came over to open her rent-a-car business. And as it turned out, though, that guy stole a lot of money from her in Germany. Up to this day, we don't know how he did it, but he got to forge her signature. And she had, I think, 2 or 3 accounts. And he would go to one account with checks that were apparently signed by her and get money out in cash. Huge amount of money. I mean, I'm talking about a lot. And then in the end, what he did, he put all that money together and disappeared. And of course that was a huge lick for her, especially as the money she had inherited had been going down quite a bit over the years, because she was very lavish in spending and did not really have any investments that would bring back money. And so she was getting kind of desperate. But what happened in India, I would tell you, like I say, in another vlog. I wrote a book about a relationship with this guy, what he did to her, how he stole the money, what she did after, and so on and so on and so on. And I'm in that book too, though our whole family is in that book as well. You know, so actually we are written about, you know. So basically, yeah, let's stop here for today, and then you will hear more of that side of the family in time, because whatever happened after is not yet be revealed.
We still have to kind of go with the
timeline.
The timeline of the story. So, because we haven't really spoken about that family before, But all of the stuff that she was talking about, you know, most of them happened before I was born and stuff like that. So.
And some just
And
within,
some,
because when Rita started her rent-a-car business, she was born already, but not that long. So we are within the time frame.
Yeah. So, alright guys, that's it for today's story time. Thank you so much for watching. And please remember to like, share, and you know, comment. Let's talk about everything like always. And yeah, I will see you in our next video. So bye.